Arlington Select Board has agreed with a recommendation for a maximum 25-mile-per-hour speed limit throughout town streets and also secondary roads for the sake of consistency and safety. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of ACMi News. I'm Jeff Barnes. So glad, as always, that you could join us on this beautiful day out here at Hurd Field. Town leaders are also looking at a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit in school and safety zones. The final decision would be up to the state, Massachusetts Department of Transportation. Jim Stubee, the vice chair of the town's Transportation Advisory Committee, or TAC, addressed the board at its August 19th meeting. Over the past 6 months, TAC compiled a list of speed limits in Arlington that are over 25 miles an hour, some 30 miles an hour, some 35 miles an hour. Stubee says in recent years it has made it very confusing for pedestrians and motorists alike.
If you hit the Arlington borders on almost all of the major feeders, it says townwide 25, 35, 30, townwide 25, 30 is 25, 30 townwide. It's confusing as all get out for people who are driving through town. I don't even know what the speed limit is. I've been driving here 10 years on Summer Street or on Pleasant Street where you've got 6 speed limit changes. It just leaves the drivers not really knowing. So they go with the flow of traffic. Right? So our recommendation to come back was to remove all of those special speed regulations. Anything that says you can go faster than 25, we'll remove those regulations or rescind them is what the official term is. You know, they were put in place back in the 70s. There were different times and needs then. It doesn't match with Connect Arlington plan. It certainly doesn't match to any Vision Zero goals where you want to reduce the speeds down to we really don't want any pedestrian deaths and that type of thing. So basically, the recommendation is to remove those, put up 25-mile-an-hour signs. Actually, it's called thickly settled. It's an orange and black sign that says thickly settled district at 25 miles an hour. And I know you may all have heard or not heard over the years that signs don't do anything. Well, the fact is the reference that we cited in the actual memo is from the city of Seattle. They put up somewhere in the neighborhood of 5,000 25-mile-an-hour signs when they made this switch, and they showed a 20% reduction in crashes, 20% reduction in injuries, and approximately 10% reduction in average speeds at 55 and the 50% mark in the 85th percentile. So they actually showed real data. They collected real data, but they put those signs up every quarter mile. So they put a lot of signs up. So that's part of our proposal. We want to start with Broadway and Park because they've got a lot of public visibility and people who are very interested in actually making those corridors more safe. So we figured we'd start with them, prove out the process, work out how to rescind things, and then come back to you all with a list for the rest of the things and say, okay, this is the prioritized list we'd like to work them in. It takes a little bit of time to go through the rescind process. I know John Alessi had talked to the folks up in Andover, and they were saying it was between 3 and 6 months to work through MassDOT to get the rescind in place. So even if we snap our fingers, it's not going to happen instantaneously, but we should get the process started. It's kind of the bottom line.
Board member Eric Helmuth says the intersection of Paul Revere and Park Avenue especially has been the scene of several pedestrian crashes that, regardless of speed, should be addressed, and that this TAC survey is the first step that makes a lot of sense.